get the cops called by the neighbors.
Oh yeah. What is up, Matwire fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. For those of you that don't know, my name is Antonio Matwire and today we're going to be focusing on the F30. So before we start anything, huge shout out to Brian and his team over at Keys Motorsports for sending me out these wheel spacers. You guys are great and are very much appreciated. So yes, today's video will be me installing these wheel spacers on the front wheels only. If you guys have been following along on my channel, you'll know that in the rear, when I got the Michelin Pilot Sports, I got a little wider tire. So the rear fitment is almost perfect, but the front fitment is still lacking a bit. So I'm hoping these 12mm spacers are gonna make the front just as flush as the rear. As you can see, the fitment is almost perfect. Let me go around the back so you guys can see. Very flush. So here are the front wheels. They look decent for the most part, but if you come a little closer towards the front, you can see that it does tuck a little bit right into the fender. So if I had to guess, I would say the space in between the fender and tire is probably about 10 to 12 millimeters. Hence why I decided to get 12mm spacers. So hopefully my calculations weren't off and they don't stick out too much, but we're gonna find out. We're just gonna go ahead and start on this wheel just because we have plenty of room over here to work. We're a little tight on that side. So first, obviously I'm gonna start by jacking up the car and getting it on a jack stand over here. But one thing to know before you jack up the front end of the car, make sure you loosen the lug nuts on the wheel, because if you jack up the car and then try to loosen them, your front wheel is just gonna spin and you're gonna have a very hard time doing it. Alright guys, remember when you're jacking up your car, just try to utilize the jack pad. You can get a jack adapter that fits right into that pad. So that way you're jacking your car up the proper way and you're not damaging anything. But now that the car is jacked up, let's go ahead and get this wheel off. Also, I've had the issue where it has been so long since I took off the lug nuts that when I attempt to take them off, it actually takes off the whole stud with it. But I do think it is time for me to order some new wheel studs along with the lugs, because I have had these ones for a long time. I actually had these on the 428i, but check this out. They're starting to get rusty and just kind of like deteriorating where the lugs sit. And I don't think, this one's really bad. It's probably not a good idea to keep these on here too much longer. So I'll probably end up ordering some more from Keys Motorsports because these ones have seen their day. But let's go ahead and check out these wheel spacers. These look really good. So when you guys are picking out wheel spacers for your F30, just be sure that it does have this hub right here, so that way when you put it on, it kind of has that lip for the hub to sit. If you don't already have studs, either get some studs or get some extended lugs for your wheel, because as you can see, it adds thickness. But as mentioned before, these are the 12mm, so let's go ahead and get it on. So as you can see, I can't push it back anymore. It's kind of giving me some resistance. But look, there's still a whole bunch of space right here, and you don't want that. You want it to be flush with the hub. So let me go ahead and hit it with a rubber mallet, just try to get it flush. So this is what you guys want to see all the way around. You just want it flush to the actual hub. Alright, so once you make sure that the spacer is flush on the wheel hub, you can go ahead and put your wheel back on. Put the lugs back on, just finger tight, and then you don't want to torque them down until you get them back on the ground. Guys, look at these studs real quick. They're just so old that even the studs have lost paint. They're just not in good shape, so I definitely need to get some new ones. So let me go ahead and get the vehicle lowered, torque these down. I usually torque them down to around 98 foot-pounds of torque, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like. Alright, but just taking a look at it now, it looks a whole lot better. I honestly probably got away with a 15mm, but it still looks really good. If you look from the front, you can see it pokes ever so slightly, and then it kind of gets flush right towards the top, but it does look really good. Even looks like it has a little bit of camber. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. So as mentioned previously, I'm just gonna repeat the same steps on the other side, and then that will just about wrap up the install. But since you guys already saw the fitment in the beginning, I think it's a good time to wrap up the video. But once again, huge shout out to Brian and the team over at Keys Motorsports. If you guys wanna pick up some spacers, be sure to check them out at keysmotorsports.com. I will leave a link down below in the description if you would like to pick some up yourself. The fitment in the front of the vehicle looks a whole lot better, and it almost matches the rear, and I'm very happy with how it came out. But just like that, that wraps up today's video. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps me out tremendously. And if you like this video or helped you out in any way, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, McFire fam, remember your goals and don't stop till you reach them. Peace.
Excited just to see me. Wish I felt the same way. Later on, she'll probably get it.